Wow. So Kawhi Leonard just got traded back to the Toronto Raptors. Now, if you've been keeping up with the Twitter for the past few days, you would have seen this coming. It hasn't been no shock. As awesome as it is, it's not as shocking, but it's still like, wow, he's going back to the Raptors. Cool. And the trade is Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto Raptors in exchange for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, two first round picks, I want to say, and a pick swap, and 1 second, I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure that's the trade. And actually, I'm recording this in time to have saw the actual trade picks for the two unprotected seconds or unprotected first, pardon me. It is going to be a 2031 unprotected as well as a 2033 unprotected in exchange for Kawhi Leonard. So let's start with the Toronto aspect. I think this is an amazing pickup for Toronto. I really do. Because I think, man, Brandon Ingram's a great player, but, he's no Kawhi. And Grady Dick wasn't that good for the Raptors. He was always supposed to be a sharpshooter, didn't really come in and do much. And I think genuinely that Toronto did do a good job in this trade. I think both sides actually walked away winners. Because if you look at the landscape of the Eastern Conference right now, especially in this era where it's been a new champion ever since 2019, it's wide out. It's as wide open as can be. With the Knicks are probably still the heavy favorite to come out the East, but still, I think Toronto just definitely got them a guy who could elevate them to that next level. So fit wise, I think Kawhi's gonna come in and just fit like a glove, like his nickname, or the claw. You feel me? I think he's gonna come in and fit. You know, he just recently came off the best offensive career of his, or off. He just came off the best offensive season of his career, and the best season he's had as a Clipper last season at the age 34. Now, the ages might scare people. I think the age is gonna definitely scare some fans away, but Kawhi Leonard's still great. I think they obviously got the best player in this trade, 100%. The Raptors, that is, and Kawhi. So I think that fit is seamless over there, especially with Scotty Barnes and CMB. Some of those defensive lineups that they can run out there will be insane. Which, Kawhi's obviously not prime time guarding Kawhi, but he is short. He is damn good still on that side of the ball. He will get it done. So I think let's see, the Raptors starting lineup. If I had to assume, it's probably going to be Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Kawhi, Scotty, and probably Jacopoto, unless they start CMB, which I think you could probably go either way. But I think since they're paying so much money to Jacopoto, it will probably be Jacopoto who will be starting over him. But man, do they have some lineups that they can run that will be insane on defense. They can run jumbo lineups now with Kawhi there. If, let's say, if Emmanuel Quickly isn't having a good game, I really do like this trade for the Toronto Raptors. Really do, because there's a legitimate chance that if Kawhi was on this team for what they gave up last year, that they beat the Cavs in the first round. And I think if they beat the Cavs, they go on to beat the Pistons, and they're right there in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. That's crazy, right? Like, you do this trade every time if you're Toronto. I understand that picks might scare people, especially the 2031 and 2033 unprotected draft picks to the Clippers. Because, we're not even going to we don't even know what the draft lottery is going to look like by the time we go there, or just the draft in general. We don't know if they're going to keep this new format that they just implemented into the league, or if it's going to revert back to the old one. Have no idea what it's going to look like. But I think this is the risk you take if you are the Raptors. If you're the Raptors, you take this chance. Because like I just said, it's a real possibility that they beat the Cavs and go on to beat the Pistons and see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals last season if they have a Kawhi Leonard. Because as much as I like Brandon Ingram, he didn't give them nothing in the playoffs. Nothing in the playoffs. And I love Brandon Ingram. Great player. He just he didn't do his part on on the team, especially when they needed him the most in the playoffs. I definitely think if they have Kawhi, they probably go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And again, some of them lineups they'll be able to run crazy, crazy. That defensive impact will be insane, insane. And I think a big reason why Kawhi went here is because of that extension. Because there was also the San Antonio Spurs talk, but earlier this morning it got shut down. The Spurs were saying they didn't want him no more, which I kind of feel like is a little crazy. Depending on what you would have had to give up if you were the Spurs, I would have loved to see a reunion back in San Antonio with Kawhi on that team because I think that would have been even more terrifying team if Kawhi went back to San Antonio. But he went to the Raptors, and I think the main reason he probably wanted to go back to the Raptors, and he said that his agent came out and said he wants to retire there. So this looks like Kawhi will be in Toronto for the rest of his career, and I think they're going to give him a big extension. I truly do feel like that's on the horizon, especially since that was the main reason why he wanted to, or that's what he was saying. He'd signed an extension with the Toronto Raptors or San Antonio Spurs, and it looks like the Raptors are going to do that because, it's a lot harder to get people in the door over there in Toronto. But let's pivot to the LA Clippers after this. LA, I love this trade for them as well. Again, I think both sides win here. I think they both got what they needed. And LA just got a whole bunch of picks in, and I think this might have been one of the best packages you could have got for an aging superstar Kawhi Leonard, if you want me to be quite frank. They got a lot of picks in. They got Brandon Ingram in, and they got Grady Dick. So we don't really know too much about who Grady Dick is really as a player because he didn't get a lot of burn, and when he did get a lot, and then when he did get burned, it was kind of it wasn't the best, but I still think he could turn it around in LA. Along with Brandon Ingram, I think he's back in LA. He's just playing for the Clippers this time. I think that's a solid return for Kawhi Leonard, 100%, especially those picks. Because by 2031, that's in 5 years. I think Kawhi's probably out the league in 5 years. I think he retires. But I still do think Toronto will be good because they will have Scotty and CMB, but you never know, especially in 2033. You never know. Never know. And those unprotected picks could come back and bite them. We'll have to see. Because Toronto definitely did this trade thinking they have an absolute shot at winning a championship. You don't pull this deal off if you don't think you can win a championship, and they did. But the return again for the LA Clippers, they're gonna be a feisty little team out there in the West. Maybe not make the playoffs, maybe be more so a play-in team versus the playoffs. But again, you got a lot of good things going on over there in LA. You just got Keaton Wagler. You just got all those picks back for Kawhi, and yeah, like you got Darius Garland. Who knows what LA's gonna do because they're always gonna want something, especially with that new stadium and who their owner is and Steve Ballmer. They always want a big name to sell out. So maybe Brandon Ingram's not the big guy to sell out, but it is what it is. Again, I think this is a great return for the LA Clippers, and we'll just have to see what they make of it. Again, this is it's a really good pickup for both teams. Like truly, I truly do believe that. Man, they are deep over there in Toronto. They are deep. I don't know if they're my favorites to come out with Kawhi, but I mean, you got to put them up there. You got to put them up there. They are a deep team. A deep team. Let's just say their starting lineup is Emmanuel Quigley, RJ Barrett, Kawhi, Scotty, and Jakob. You got Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter, who had some good playoff games, CMB coming off the bench, and Jameson Battier, who gave you a game or two in the playoffs against the Cavs in that series. I think they are a deep team, and again, they will have some lineups where they just shut the faucet off on y'all, on every team. Like it's gonna be crazy, but I do love this for both teams. I really do. I think it's almost like as even as a trade as it can get, which is usually don't see that. Usually one team feels like they always finesse the other, but this one is good. And again, Kawhi just came off the best season of his career, averaging 27 something on really good efficiency. And when you watched him play, you could tell the impact that he had on the floor. Definitely a top 10 player in the league at like that's this season, and I'm excited to see them play. And Kawhi's back in the six, baby, back in the six, where he last won his championship and hit maybe the best game winner of all time. Like it's definitely up there. Whew. So yeah, I think both teams walk out with what they want, and I think this is a win-win on both sides, and we'll just have to see how it translates. Before I end this video, I'm gonna hit on the Ja Morant trade. I know I'm a day late. Confusing, really confusing. They have like a million guards over there in Portland now. But if Ja Morant's trade value is that low, I say do it. I really do. Because I believe Ja Morant's closer to the superstar version of himself rather than this player he's been for the past 2 seasons. I know he's been battling with injuries. He had the off the court issues, But I truly believe Ja Morant's closer to that superstar version of himself from 3 or 4 years ago versus who he is today. Maybe some of the athleticism declined, but I guess if you're Portland, you do this. But I'm thinking if you're Portland, you did this thinking you're going to go out and maybe get Jaylen Brown, because I think that makes Scoot Henderson or Shannon Sharp more available, because I don't think they're trading Dame. They already came out and said they're not trading Drew, and you just traded Ja Morant. I don't think Ja Morant's getting flipped. I don't think they brought him in just to get flipped. But again, you didn't really give up much. You might be lacking at the wing positions now, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Really interesting stuff. And then last thing I'm going to hit on, LeBron James. He's out of LA, baby. They came out this morning, said he's not re-signing with the Lakers. And it also came out that he is reportedly willing to take a pay cut to go win champions. Man, are we going to see Steph Curry and LeBron team up? Is this about to happen in Golden State? I think the Anthony Davis stuff is off the table, but you never know, man. This offseason has been insane. Insane. Possibly one of the best off seasons. LaMelo, Giannis, now Kawhi, LeBron's going to go somewhere else. This is an insane off season, and it just keeps getting better. And free agency just started a few hours ago. I saw Tim Hardaway Jr. also get picked up by Miami. Great pickup by Miami. Yeah, the NBA is just a gift that keeps on giving, and I'm excited to see what else happens this off season. I'll catch you on next time whenever something else big's happen. See ya.